had this whole talk, man. That was unbelievable. I got nothing to say now. Mike, I took all the words out of my mouth. I was going to talk about something completely different, but give him another hand. You're the man. How did you memorize that stuff? That reminds me. I told this story a few weeks ago. I don't mean it to be a repeat for anybody that heard it, but that reminds me of something very similar. When I was telling you guys a few weeks ago, you guys remember the Rubik's Cube? You remember the Rubik's Cube? Jen, you remember the Rubik's Cube, right? It was popular however many years ago. I remember when I was in grade school, the Rubik's Cube was so popular. I mean, every kid in grade school had a Rubik's Cube, and everybody, during our breaks and during recess, everybody was trying to figure this thing out, and nobody could. Half the kids, their cube didn't even look like a cube. You know what I mean? It was like they were long gone. And I remember I'd come home and from school, and I'd be playing with this thing. And one day my mom went to the bookstore, and I don't know if you guys know this, but they made a book that actually took you step by step through how to solve the Rubik's Cube. You guys remember that book? There was a book out there. My mom went to the bookstore, and she saw me working on this thing every day, and she bought the book. So one day I came home from school, and I'm reading through this book. I thought it was the greatest thing ever. I'm reading through this book, and it was like a step-by-step blueprint. You do this, 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 and this, step 1, step 2, step 3, and before you know it, the cube's solved. And I remember every day I'd come home from school, and I'd practice. I had these rules. I started memorizing these rules, and I'd memorize step 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and then, and before you know it, I could do this thing without even looking at the book anymore. I mean, I had every step down to a science. And I remember after I did, I went back to school the next day, and in front of everybody. Now, you got to imagine, you have 50, 100 kids in the class, and everybody's trying to figure this thing out every day. No one has yet. And I go, hey guys, watch this. And within 5 minutes, I solved the thing. Right? I was like the king among all the third graders. You know what I mean? All the girls wanted to be with me. You have to think, like, if you were in my class and you saw me and you're thinking, you know how hard this thing is. It's not working for you. Right? Every day you're trying to solve this cube, and it's just not working for you. You can't figure it out. You think it's impossible. And all of a sudden some kid comes in, and within 5 minutes he solves it off the top of his head. I mean, can you imagine how these other kids looked at me? Right? They looked at me like I was something special, like I was doing something that they couldn't do. That they could never be as smart as me and solve the Rubik's Cube as fast as I did. But what they didn't understand is that all I did was buy the book. Right? All I did was buy the book. And I remember a few months ago, Presley was in Lancaster, and he was doing a meeting down in Lancaster, and Mike and I had some people down there, and we went to his meeting, and afterwards, he was kind of hanging out, and he said, what are you guys doing? We said, can we buy you dinner? And for you guys that don't know, Presley's the #1 money earner at Ignite. He's got made 13 mil or whatever in the past 5 years. And we took him out to dinner, and it's almost like it reminded me. It reminded me of grade school. It was almost like you have all these people in the meeting. I mean, there were a few hundred people in the meeting that week, right? Even Mike and I. You're looking at this guy Presley. You're looking at some of these top EDs, some of these top money earners that made millions of dollars in this business, and you're out. You're working it every single day, right? You're pounding the payment. You're calling your buddy and tells you it's a pyramid scheme, right? Your brother-in-law's calling you every single day saying you're still doing that silly business. It's not going to work for you, right? You're at work and people are laughing at you, right? You're trying to they won't even give you your electric bill, right? And you're pounding it every single day, but the thing just isn't working for you, right? And you go to one of these meetings, you hear this guy made $13 million, right? And you look at him the same way these kids looked at me, right? You look at him like he did something that's impossible. I can't do what he did. I'm doing the same thing he's doing, and it's not working. How is it working for him? How is it that everywhere this man goes, hundreds of people come to see him, and hundreds of people sign up in the opportunity? And we're doing these meetings week after week after week, and I can't get 5 people to my house. How is that working, right? And we started picking his brain to see what we didn't realize is all Presley did was buy the book. There's a blueprint to this. You buy a McDonald's franchise, do you think it's a free-for-all? Do you think you spend $2.3 million and it's a free-for-all? We got a doctor sitting in the room. You a doctor?
No.
Okay. What are you?
ER nurse.
ER nurse. Okay, you're around the medical field. Do you think you spend all that money on medical school and it's a free-for-all? There's no blueprint, right? You think it's like, I want to be an orthopedic surgeon. Give me a chainsaw, right? No, there's a blueprint for success. There's a recipe for success. If you're going to bake a cake, do you just take some? I saw my mom bake a cake one time, and I think she put eggs, flour, vanilla extract. Let me just go buy this stuff and throw it in a bowl and mix it up and put it in the oven, and it turns out like it should on the box. No. There's a recipe, right? If you leave one ingredient out, the cake doesn't come out the way it is on the box. Does that make sense? There's a blueprint to Ignite. Ignite's a franchise. Don't get confused. It is. You buy a McDonald's and they tell you, here's how high you cut the grass. Here's who you use to remove your snow. Here's where you put the fry machine. Here's where you put the milkshake machine. Here's how long to cook the burgers. Here's how to wear the hats. Here's how to do paper. They tell you everything. And it's a proven model, time after time after time. Have you ever seen a McDonald's close its doors? Right? They're successful because there's a blueprint. Do you know that Ignite has a blueprint? You go to Ignite Academy, there is a blueprint for success in this business. There's a step by step by step. Here's what you do first. Here's what you do next. Here's what you do next. I guarantee you, we went SD in maybe like 40, 50 days, something like that. I guarantee you, without a shadow of a doubt, if I had somebody that would get started, that would just throw their own thinking out and stop trying to do things their way, why reinvent the wheel? It's already been invented for you. I guarantee you that if they just do every single thing that Mike and I say, that we could get them to SD in half the time that we got there. I guarantee it's a blueprint. Just like the Rubik's Cube. Presley bought the book. And he's following the steps. And all he did was do it enough times that he memorized how to do it, and now he looks like a Superman. He's not Superman. He's doing the exact same thing we're doing. And when Mike and I talk about the dinner, I'll never forget this. The reason I'm talking about this, because it has a lot to do with your talk. We asked him, how are you making so much more money than everybody? How did you become the #1 money earner? You got involved back in the day when this thing first got started. There were other people that got started before you. How did you blow by everybody? How were all the people on your team? You know, the top 2, 3, 4 money earners, they're all on his team. He's the one that taught them, right? What are you guys doing differently? You know, and when he said to Mike and I, it made us feel like we were 2 inches tall. He said, let me see your calendar. And Mike and I looked at each other and we said, we don't have a calendar. And he said, well, that's your first problem. And he said a statement to me that I'll never forget. He said, your income is in direct proportion to your calendar. You show me your calendar and I'll show you what your income is going to be in 3 months. You show me your calendar for the past 3 months and I'll show exactly what you're going to be making. And just like Mike said, the recipe to success in this business is showing the plan. What are the 3 things that Presley says when he comes here?
Make a list.
Make a list.
Set appointments.
Show the plan.
Plug into meetings.
And plug into meetings. And there's a recipe, and the recipe is hard work, just like Mike was talking about. You could be the smartest individual in the world, but if you don't leave your house, no one's getting in. You know what I mean? Right? Everybody in your house is already in the business. Right? You got to talk to people outside, on the other side of the front door. You can be the smartest guy in the world. You can have this thing all figured out. You can get in on the power center every single day, know every little trick, every trade. You can know what the rate is. You can know what the rate's going to be and everything. But if you don't talk to anybody, you're not going to make any money. And what Presley told us is the key to this business is booking appointments. He said, you show me a calendar that's filled every single week with appointment after appointment after appointment after appointment. I'll show you somebody that's going to be in the top 25 money earners in a year or 2 from now. Right? Isn't that what they told us?
Absolutely.
And he said, you can't beat hard work. It reminds me, when Mike was talking, you look at a guy like Tiger Woods, right? One of the best golfers of all time. Right? Or you look at a guy like Michael Jordan. You know how many foul shots he shot in his backyard? Right? You can be the most talented individual in the entire world. But if Michael Jordan worked harder than you, he's going to be a better basketball player than you. Right? Somebody might have more talent and ability. They might be better public speaker than you. They might not have a fear of talking to people. They might be able to call all their friends and talk all their friends into this because they're the most smooth talking, the most skillful person that's ever got in this business. But if you show the plan more than them, you're going to win. Right? What's your goal? What's your dream? Where do you want to be? You want your wife out of your job? Book it. Book an appointment. Right? You want to pay for your kids' college? Book it. Right? Honestly. You want that new car that you've been thinking about, right? Well, Bill, you told me that I saw you at the fight on Friday night. You told me that you went out and you test drove a Range Rover.
Yes.
That's your car. That's the car you want to buy as a result of this business.
Absolutely.
Put it on the refrigerator, man. It's in your head every single day. And when you don't feel like making a call and booking your calendar, you book it anyway because that's the car that you want, right? You want that dream home? Book it. Right? You want to get out of debt because you've been in debt, you've been swimming in debt, you feel like you're treading water and the water's getting closer and closer before you know you're going to go under, right? You want some more air? Book it. You want the bills to be paid every single month? Book it. Monday, book it. Tuesday, book it. Wednesday, book it. Thursday, book it. Friday, book it. Saturday, book it. Sunday, oh no, book it anyway. Book gates open. We're going to be a force to be reckoned with. Let's book our calendars. Book it. Every day, man. There shouldn't be a time wasted. Who cares? What's a year period of time? Presley says this isn't a 10-year business, it's an 18-month business. What's 18 months of hard work to get what you really want? Right? Don't leave any recipes out. You want the cake on the box, you got to follow the recipe. You got to book your calendar, man. We are excited. I've never been more excited in my entire life. We've never made more money in this bit. I mean, we've only been in it for 6 months, but we're making more money every single month. Our residual checks are doubling every single month. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. They've doubled it every single month. We're getting another one tomorrow. I can't wait to see what it is. These guys are shutting down their dealership. How much more success do you need to see? Jen met a few people in Pennsylvania and is making thousands of dollars a month and one executive director. And it's just one person. She didn't know anybody here. How much more success do we have to parade in front of you before you get up and you become a success story? I'm telling you, we were at ED boot camp and they told us, you guys aren't going to recognize the top 25 money earners in the next 2 years. The people in this room could be in the top 25 money earners in this company. That's big news, I'm telling you. You have the opportunity of your lifetime. Let's see how many people we can get out here next week. We had maybe 60 or so chairs. Wasn't completely filled. We got to get this meeting to 100 people a week, man. I'm telling you, we're going to crack. When we walk around this Lehigh Valley, people are going to know who we are. So, Ryan, you want to say something? I'm done. I'm going to bring him up, and then we'll wrap it up. Thanks, guys.
We're out of here. I just want to touch base on what he said. And for those of you that missed Presley, what if you missed him when he was here? And it goes right back to what he just said. He said, Presley, I want to make a lot of money. How do I do it? And he just looks and says, talk to people, set appointments, and show the plan. She's like, no, Presley, you don't get it. I mean, I want to make a lot of money. You know what I mean? Like a ton of money. How do I do it? He says, okay, well, let's start by talking to people, setting appointments, and showing the plan. No, Presley, you don't get it. I need millions. I want to make millions like you. I want to be a millionaire. I want to make 300 grand a month like you. How do I do it? He says, okay, let's start over. Okay, talk to people, set appointments, and show the plan. This is the easiest business of all time. We just don't realize it yet. Okay? So, thanks guys for coming out. Fill the calendar like Sammy said, and your business will explode. Thanks for coming out.